Welcome back. Today we are going to start with a new prose piece which is a part of the class 11 ISC syllabus. Today we are going to look at an essay by Mark Twain, Advice to Youth. Now, this is not what a traditional essay is all about. It is something that is quite different. It is a parody of the didactic nature of essays that were generally fed to young children, to students in universities. It takes a dig at the moral codes and the vast gap between what is preached in the society and what is practiced. Let's dive in and see what do we have in store. Now, Mark Twain was a writer who started his writing career quite late in the 19th century and towards the beginning of the 20th century. Now, what is notable here is, you all obviously know by now that Mark Twain is the pen name of Samuel Langhorne Clemens. He was born in 1835 and he died in 1910. He wrote this particular essay in 1882. It is also the post-Civil War period in America, which is also commonly known as the Gilded Age. In the Gilded Age, there was a rise in business, there was a lot of emphasis on building of wealth, a lot of emphasis was on the morality as well. However, there was a vast difference between how the society in reality functioned and how the moral standards of the time were. Mark Twain exposes this hypocrisy to the next generation, to the younger children, to the youth of the time. So let's see what he has to say. Now, the essay begins in the style of a traditional lecture. It initially starts quite serious. It appears to be moral and instructive. So let us start reading. Being told I would be expected to talk here, I inquired what sort of talk I ought to make. So he begins the essay by introducing why he is here to talk about this. He says that he has been approached by some people and he feels that he needs to prepare beforehand in order to deliver a lecture. I inquired what sort of talk I ought to make. So he was curious that if he needs to deliver a speech, he needs to know about the topic of the speech. They said it should be something suitable to youth, something didactic, instructive. Didactic means something that sets the moral tone for the youth. Instructive, it should instruct something or something in the nature of good advice. Very well, I have a few things in my mind which I have often longed to say. So the writer says that I do have certain things in my mind and for quite some time I have been meaning to express that. For the instruction of the young, and it particularly relates to the instruction that he wishes to give the younger generation. He wishes to impart to the youth of the country. For it is in one's tender early years that such things will best take root and be most enduring and most valuable. He believes that at a tender age, if one is introduced to certain values, certain advices, certain instructions, it would take root, it would have a deeper impact on the student or on the listener, and they will be able to follow it for a very long time. First then, I will say to you, my young friends, and I say it beseechingly, urgingly. Please underline, you see that there is a heightened tone attached to it. It is almost creating a hyperbolic effect. So he is deliberately mocking the seriousness of the topic. He is mocking the traditional didactic essays that were written in abundance to educate the youth. Always obey your parents when they are present. So he starts with a conventional moral lesson. He starts with a moral instruction that is commonly known to obey one's parents. Then he subverts it, brings in a twist that you should only obey your parents when they are present in front of you. This is the best policy in the long run. So he says that this is something that is going to benefit you in future. Because if you don't, they will make you. So they have greater power over you. So if you show your rebellious side right in front of them, they will ensure that they get the thing done by you. Most parents think they know better than you do. He says it is common knowledge that most parents think that they know better than their children. and you can generally make more by humoring that superstition. So he says that you can feed into that superstition, feed into their confidence and their belief that they know better. You can just agree with them and humor this belief than you can by acting on your own better judgment. So he says it is beneficial to allow them to believe that they are in a superior position, they understand better, than to rebel outright. He is underlining a very important message here. What he's trying to mock is the blind respect for authority. Because everything at the end of the day becomes about appearance, he moves forward and gives another important lesson. Now, what is this lesson? Be respectful to your superiors, if you have any, also to strangers and sometimes to others. So what is the general advice that we hear? That we need to respect everyone. But mark that the author is deliberately arranging the sentence in such a manner where superiors have been mentioned first, right? So he says that you need to respect your superiors more. One must always respect the authority. So what he is trying to suggest is showing respect not out of genuine sense of respect, but showing respect so that it can help him socially. It can help the individual socially upgrade himself or be acceptable in certain social circles, or to gain some benefit out of it. If a person offends you and you are in doubt as to whether it was intentional or not, do not resort to extreme measures. So it seems like a sensible advice. He says that if someone offends you, do not take it to heart, do not act in an extreme manner. Simply watch your chance and hit him with a brick. Now, he has turned the advice on its head, and this is also a hyperbole. If someone is offensive, you do not use violence to check the person's behavior. Other than saying that you need to forgive the person, he says that you need to strike the person with a brick. This is ironic, and he says that will be sufficient. That will be sufficient. This particular line is very important. Now he is playing this line as an understatement in order to heighten the effect of humor, in order to create a comic effect. If you shall find that he had not intended any offense, so he says after you have hit him with a brick, if you realize that he did not deliberately offend you, come out frankly and confess yourself in the wrong when you struck him. So he says immediately apologize to the person, seek the person's forgiveness and come out in the clear and claim that you mistook his behavior and had taken offense, but you are out on the clear now. Acknowledge it like a man and say you didn't mean to. And he says acknowledge that you made a mistake and own up your mistake as a man. Yes, always avoid violence. Please underline, he is using a paradox. After giving a heightened example of violence, he is asking the students now to abstain from violence. In this age of charity and kindliness, so this is sharp with wit and criticism of the society. He says that I know it is common that this is the age of charity and kindliness. The time has gone by for such things. Leave dynamite to the low and unrefined. So he says you are better off. This is a time of charity and kindness. So leave the dynamite for someone, violence for someone who is lesser than you. For the people who are unrefined, you are refined, you do not choose violence. So this is also a scathing critic of the hypocrisy of the times, where people even who claim themselves to be refined are not devoid of violent tendencies. And how do they get away with it? By presenting superficial apologies. So he is criticizing this, but not directly. He is resorting to satire. Now, what other advices do this excellent satirist Mark Twain gives you, or how does he teach you to be more prepared for the society? Now, this was written for the 19th or 20th century youth. But do you find this relevant in your times too? Do you find a gap between what is preached and what is practiced? If so, then please do write in the comment section and let me know what you think about some of the common standards that are set in the society today. If you like my work, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such interesting explorations of literature. Thank you for watching. I will meet you all again in the next video.